Hi guys, it's your girl Saria.
And I'm Sherry, and you're listening to
Her Untold Podcast. So this is kind of the third episode on my story, and it's the final one. It's taken a bit longer than we thought to go through things because we're addressing it in detail, and I guess I want to help as much people as possible. I don't want to keep going round and round in circles trying to explain things here, there. So I thought we'd just go through my story in detail. And I think even Sherry's been you didn't even know some of the stuff I'd gone through.
I've been quite surprised with some of the things that you've mentioned, but I think it's really good that you've given context, because I think a lot of people know that Saria is a single mum, but they don't really know the backstory behind it. I know you've mentioned it before on other occasions, but I think it's nice just to have everything in one place.
Exactly. And I think sometimes people can be a bit horrible, like the trolls online, and without even knowing like what I've gone through. And because I'm such in a better place now, and I might joke about things, and that's just me. I like to have banter. If you saw me a year ago, I was not that person. I was actually really, really suppressed. And in the previous episode, I kind of read out a message I wrote last year-ish, and it really did bring like a lot of those emotions back. But I've come so far. I guess I'm not completely healed, because I guess if you're completely healed, that stuff wouldn't maybe affect me. But there is still manipulation going on to this day, which is what I said in episode 5. Even after you leave a situation, sometimes you can still be manipulated. Like there are certain things that I don't have to go into the details with it, but there's certain things I'm still being manipulated into, and especially about speaking about it. I think that's the biggest thing, because people tend to care a lot about their reputation, right? So I feel like when you speak about something, they don't like it, because they're like, okay, now other people are going to know what I did. And even though I've not really gone into the details of like the major thing, which I'll discuss briefly, but I'm not going to go into the fine details. But even that, I feel like I get manipulated just because it's like, oh, move on from it now. Don't bring up that, blah, blah, blah. Think about how the impact it could have on X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, I'm getting manipulated, because when I speak to other people, they're like, no, that is like, those actions were made. That person didn't think about those actions when he did that, or she did that, if we're talking in a generalized term. So it's only now because you're speaking about it. If you do those actions, you don't care about your actions then, or your reputation then.
Yeah.
But when it's spoken about, now you care. Now you care about the consequences. But it's not even a consequence, it's just speaking the truth.
Well, listen, there's consequences to your actions. If you're going to do something, you have to expect that something... It's like we're speaking very openly about our previous experiences, and there's going to be a level of backlash. There always is.
Yeah, so it's not easy. No. I don't want... It's really, really not easy, but I guess it's kind of, like I said previously, it can help so many women, and it can raise so much awareness. I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. Like,
it's your story, your experiences, and you have the voice to tell your story.
There was a story when I was pregnant, another story, which I've not gone into. Like I've said, I've not gone into every nitty-gritty bit. I'd be here all day if we did that. But I think it was like a couple of weeks before I gave birth, I was on the streets crying my eyes out. Literally, like I was waiting for my friend to come from Birmingham. So I was there for like ages, dying to pee, literally. I was about to pop. And then it wasn't even him that said, like, let's go find her. Like, she's carrying my child. I've just, let's just sort of say, apparently, well, it's not apparently, my mom's just literally going to told me downstairs. I didn't even know this, because we were just talking about this, weren't we? She told me, no, he didn't even say, let's go find. He said, leave her, she'll be fine. And it was my mom that said, no, we have to go find her. We have to go find her. Otherwise, he would have just let it be. And it was my mom that said that. So it just shows, like, I was out there pregnant, walking around, crying my eyes out. I would not wish this upon anyone, because he manipulated things so much. And I literally had to wait for my friend to come from Birmingham. And if it wasn't for my mum, he would have just left me to it. He didn't even care.
I can't believe that.
You can't imagine that, because you don't think there's a man on the world that would do that to their pregnant wife.
No, especially when you were just about to give birth.
I know.
The fact you'd left the house because he made you upset, and then he wasn't willing to rectify it or go and find you.
Yeah, he did manipulate a lot of people. To be fair, and again, I just found out, I think Sherry's helping bring up a lot of the secrets. I just went down and had a conversation with my family. Apparently, one of my family members did say they were suspicious about him because of just the way he spoke. It was like I said before in a previous, it was very guppified. You know, it was lie after lie after lie. But even like just going back to compulsive lying, like it can be such, it can be, people sometimes I think they just do it by default. They don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
So when I found out this really, really bad thing, the last final thing, we were in the house and my dad was there to try and like, we were just trying to sort out, you know, because we knew then we were going to get a divorce. We were just trying to sort out what's what. And my dad goes, look, okay, Saria's obviously found out some stuff you were doing. And I'm there in the house. And by default, my ex is like saying, yeah, and I found out stuff about her. And I'm like, how are you going to lie in front of my face? I'm literally in the other room though, but because my parents just told me to go in the other room. So I come marching down. I'm like, what? And my dad knows at this point, you know, he's just lying constantly. But I'm like one of those like, okay, I know you're a liar, but I want to call you out on it now. I'm like, what? What have you found out? And then he just goes, literally like nothing. So I'm like, so why say it? Like, just why? Like, that's why I think sometimes, I think just in general, I have come across a few compulsive liars. They just say it without, like, it's their default to just, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's stuff that don't even matter, like the sky's pink, something like that. But be very, very wary of compulsive liars because it's like every day is a different lie. But that's the thing that really, really annoys me sometimes when you're literally lying in front of my face. And it's like, he knows I'm there. He knew I was listening. So I went ballistic. I went down and I was like, what have you found out? My dad's like, just leave it. We know we know at this point, like that he, you know. And no, I did not let it go. I goes, what? And I just wanted him to say nothing. And, you know, it was just the way he said it was like, nothing. Like, but why say it?
In the first place.
Yeah.
He obviously just thought that he wanted a reaction.
And even now, like, he don't want no family interaction. Like he always says no family interaction, no family interaction. Now I have no problems of that because I got nothing to hide. I think he don't want no family interactions because, you know, I think he forgets at the end of the day we do have a son together. And that might happen in the future. But he thinks no family interaction because he don't want his family finding out what he did. And I know he don't want his family to find out because he literally begs me not to tell them. And also because he's probably, if he can lie to my dad while I'm in the room, pretending I did something, he's probably lying to his family, saying I did.
Okay,
yeah. So I think that's why. Whereas I'm always like, I don't care. Well, I get have family interaction. Whereas he's like, no family interaction. Literally wants.
That's very strange. That shows that there's something that he wants to hide.
And that's why he'll keep his family. Like, I think is very, very selfish. He don't want his family to know his son because he don't want them finding out what he did. Whereas that's so selfish. Because like I said in the last episode, I'm always welcoming on his family. No one makes the effort because I think he's stopping them. I think that might not be true. But I don't get why you would not make the effort. And even his parents, they have made absolutely no effort for him from the moment he was born. To be fair, this was before I even found out some stuff. But now they've literally seen him like once. And that was when like, you know, my name change video went viral.
Yeah.
And then people were commenting and stuff. So I think it was because of that. And then they've not come since. Again, it's because I believe I think it's a mixture of two. I feel like one, I feel like his mum just don't care. Two, he don't want them to come anyways because he don't want them to find out what he did.
Okay.
Which I don't really know why he's so scared for his mum to find out what he did because she's one of those that would justify it anyways.
And protect him
but he
anyway.
is really, really scared of her finding out what she did. Because the day I found out, he was begging me because he would always go running to his mum about everything.
And you couldn't tell
And I was like, let's go running to her about this then. Because he'd also go running to her and my parents and lying about the situation. Obviously, when my parents and me started clocking on to what was going on, we started being like, okay, now he's lying about this. So that day I found out, I goes, okay, so let's get family involved like you always like to do. And you're actually lying. He's like, no, I get it now. No family involved, please. And I know, and do you know what? This is the reason why I've not told his mum because I'm like, what's the point?
Okay, I would have 100% that she would have known by now. Because if you think the sun shines out of your
but she still
son's arse,
she won't think what he's doing, she would just be really, really scared of people finding out.
So people should find out.
Because I'm a strong believer of she's very, very all about her reputation as well.
No girl should have to endure a relationship with this man until he sorts his act out.
Yeah.
And also, is he even going to acknowledge that he's got a child either?
Yeah.
So it's things like that. It's like you said, like he doesn't ask for photos. He doesn't ask for updates.
And yeah, and like he doesn't ask about, like, literally, I don't even think he knows what's generally going on in my son's life. Well, he don't. Only when he comes. Now, I will say, when we first separated, it was literally like, I think I'd asked him and I'd asked his parents on numerous occasions, are you going to come? And again, it goes back to, in the previous episode, I said I was very scared of how it's going to be. Am I going to be able to do something? Now I know I can do it on my own. It's fine. So I was asking them and they refused. They said, no, no, no. So it was like, he was saying no. He was rejecting to come. They were rejecting to come. Like, why would you not want to come see I don't get that. Then, like, literally it went into flying visits every now and then. And it'd be in like a restaurant for like an hour. And I literally had to say to him once, you're not his uncle. Like, anyone can go to the restaurant. Do you understand what I'm saying though? Yeah. Anyone can go to the restaurant and play with a baby for an hour, then go about life.
Yeah.
And that's when I really, really was, this was probably, I can't even remember when it was, but this went on for a while. And then I think like midsummer, I just had to let it all out. I sent him like a biggest email ever saying, you have not done like anything, fatherly responsibility, blah, blah, blah. I goes, you're not going to just come and see him in the restaurant, this, that. If you are going to come, you're going to do father duties. You're doing these flying visits, seeing him now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not going to have this, like, you're not, even an uncle does more than that.
Yeah, so you're basically saying, if you're going to be a dad,
he always
be a dad.
compares my son to his nephew. And he still does to this day. And it's like, that's your son. That's your nephew. There's a big difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the stuff, the way he talks is like, oh yeah, this, that, thingy. Oh, he'll do that with me because thingy does that with me. No. It's like, it feels like, and to be fair, in my opinion, he makes way more effort with his nephew and stuff. But that's another story. But, and he's done certain things to kind of benefit them rather than his own son.
That's on him.
I know. And you know what? He's really, really silly because some of his family are probably like, they're probably so happy that he's just been walked. They've probably manipulated him into doing that. And they're probably laughing because they're going to be benefited from it.
Yeah. And yeah, he's
their
walked
kids
straight
will
into
benefit.
that.
Yeah, their kids are going to benefit him, not his own son. And that's why I get so frustrated because Rio is my son. I want the best for him. And I just don't get how someone could go about by life giving things more to other people than your own son. But anyway, so now after that fat rant I did to him, I feel like I have had to call out a few times as well. I feel like he does make a bit more effort with Rio. Yeah. I'm not going to say he doesn't. I do feel like he puts a bit more in. It's still not enough. Like Aria was ill the other week and I got really frustrated because, again, I had to tell him and then there was no checkup on him.
So I'm assuming he sees him every week then?
No, not every week. It's probably every 2-3 weeks.
Okay. So what does he spend one day with him?
It would be like a day, yeah.
Okay.
It might be half a day depending on things, but it'll, yeah. And he will do more duties. But I'm there. Like, he can't do it alone because he don't know. You know, in 3 weeks, so much changes with the routine as well.
Yeah.
So whatever he's picked up that time.
So you're amicable then because you have to co-parent to some degree.
Oh, it's very, very tricky. It's very, very messy.
I do want to go into that. But before we do, I've got one question for you.
Yeah.
About how this relationship just came to a halt. I want to know, what was the breaking point for you personally? What was the final straw that you were like,
yeah,
fuck this shit, I'm out of here?
So I know I spoke about 6 weeks postpartum, but there was something I missed before that, 3 weeks postpartum. So my first time leaving the house, imagine my first time leaving the house. We were meant to go furniture shopping. As soon as I got in the car, he started threatening me.
Right.
Yeah, he started threatening me. I think it's because I was out the house and my parents weren't about. Like, imagine, like, your wife has just given birth. She's getting out the house. Just give her a day out.
What was the threat?
So he was just saying about why he didn't want to be here. like about, so you know I sent that paragraph that I read out last episode?
Yes, that was before
Yeah,
this.
it was similar to that week. It must have been like a week after this happened.
Okay.
And he tried to play the victim card and stuff. And then he's like, I think I said something like, I can't wait to get back to gym. I think I said something like that. And I think, you know how I said he didn't like me going gym or to my grandma's? I think that, like, he said something like, oh yeah, okay, well, I think he was trying to get me to like sell my house or something straight away. And he just started threatening me, thinking like I couldn't do it alone or something. He started saying, well,
What?
yeah, like you've got to go where I go, this, that. And I don't know where it came out of. I was bawling my eyes out. I was still frigging postpartum. I was just like, imagine how...
He wanted you to get rid of your house at 3 weeks postpartum.
Yeah, he was already talking. We hadn't even moved in and he was talking about selling up and moving to another location. We hadn't even moved in. He said, I hate it there. How can you hate somewhere without moving in?
Didn't he choose to live in that location?
Yeah, we chose that specific area because it was close to a family member of his.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be close to there. And apparently some of his other family members were moving near there.
Did they?
No, that was another thing.
It was another lie. You were telling lies.
But...
oh my gosh.
So that happened. Then we came back bawling my eyes out. And then he tried to manipulate the story to my parents again. At that point, like I said, I was starting to show things to my parents.
Yeah.
And that very next day, my mum did see a lot because then I put him on speaker just to show him what he was doing. But he tried to manipulate. He'd always try to play victim. Oh, no. And I literally came back and told my mum what he did, but she still started falling for the next day. I know she was falling for it. So then that's why I put on speaker. And then after that, I think that was the worst they'd ever seen him. So that was 3 weeks. Then the 6 weeks thing happened, which I explained in last week's episode.
And the breaking point.
So now things started getting bad again. As I said, come to Christmas. He said, right, I want to go spend Christmas with my parents. And I goes, well, we'll spend...
Rewind. You've got a newborn child.
Yeah.
You want to spend Christmas with your parents.
Yeah, so this was...
not with your child.
Yeah, so when I say Christmas, not the actual day, I think he didn't want to be here on Christmas Day. He was so miserable. Like,
oh my God.
Even my family were like, what is up with him? But he wanted to spend the lead up. And I thought this is the time we could do cute things as a family. Even my friends didn't get it. He got angry at my friends. My friends, the day he went back, my friends came over. We did a little Christmas thing in like my house. And they were a bit late. And he was like, oh my God, why are they late for? Like, spend some time with your family. And I'm like it's not their responsibility to be here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, sorry, where did he need to be?
Back at home with his parents.
He was annoyed with your friends for not showing up at the right time because he wanted to go and see his mum and dad.
Yeah. That's not a lie. Even my friends were like, we're going to get there when we get there. We've just finished work.
This is a grown-ass adult man who's meant to be a father.
I know. And then it was like And then anyway, so he went back and then he didn't really ask or check in with me and Rio, considering we're still together then as well. But things were so bad, like we weren't. People always ask me, when were you a single mum? When did you become a single mum? It felt like from day one.
Yeah.
Because I literally went through all of pregnancy by myself. It would have been better off, and we're not going to lie. I'm so much happier now that I'm away from him. Mm-hmm. But it would have been better off if I just left him in pregnancy. I would have had a much better pregnancy.
Yeah.
I would have had the best pregnancy, yeah? So I wish in hindsight I did go back in pregnancy and just leave him then. But like I said, there was that bit of hope. And then anyways, so yeah, Christmas came, whatever. And then he went back, wasn't really checking in. And then even then I did say to my mum, I don't think, it's going to be working. Because especially after how things had been going. And then he came on Christmas Day. It was like he just came to pick me and Rio up to take us back to London, because he had like family coming over and stuff. And it was just all so miserable there. He was just so miserable with me, I should say. And even with my family here on Christmas. I even said, my brother and his wife threw a party. He was meant to come on Christmas Eve. He flaked. He just flaked. And then I'm thinking, don't you want to spend Christmas Eve with your son and wake up with Christmas with your son?
Yeah.
Because isn't it the most special thing, their first Christmas?
It is.
No, he didn't. He wanted to, obviously, he didn't want to because he would have came. So he comes on Christmas, picks us up. We go back to London. Now, I wasn't going to go because I was so fed up with this. But I thought, you know what? I want Rio to know that side of the family. So I'll go because no one was making the effort to come here, to see him. So I thought I'll make the effort. I'll go, even though I really didn't want to. I was only there for a few days. And then he gets his family member on me. And I know this specific family member. I know she never liked me. I think she was jealous of a few things. But also, you know how you just get some family members that are very hostile of, yeah. And even everyone used to, no, everyone, so a few of people did say it to me back then, but now so many people have said to me what was wrong with this specific family member. Like, she was always so rude, even with my, like, you know what I'm saying, even with my family. And I guess at least she showed it. Like, I feel like with him, and I felt like him and my ex-mother-in-law, I feel like they would act like nice people, and then they did what they did to me. Whereas I felt like, at least with this specific family member, she just owned. Like, a lot of people got the vibe anyways. I'd rather someone just be upfront with how they are.
Yeah.
So I'll give this person that. Anyways, he got her on me. She said a bunch of stuff that she had no idea what she was talking about. I think she was a bit tipsy, I don't know, but she had a glass of wine in her hand and stuff. And he was just egging her on. And I thought, nah, I'm not being in this. I'm not taking this. And the worst thing is, I was trying to put a Rio to sleep. And he's getting his family member on me. And this person is a mum as well. And she's, while I'm trying to put my son to sleep. How bad? Knowing how hard it is to put your baby to sleep.
I don't have nice things to say right now, so I'm just not going to say anything.
And then I just couldn't believe it. It's like he took me there for his family member to just try and just basically come at me while I'm trying to put my son. And I just kept it cool. And you know what? I didn't raise my voice because I was holding my son. Best believe if I was not holding my son, would have been a different situation. Yeah, I do not have time for that. That was very much, at that point, that's when I said, this is not on. And this is very inconsistent just with how he was acting. And that's when I said, you know, I think we should call it quits and just go our own way, whatever. And then like a day or two passes. So then I come back. I spend New Year's Eve alone with the Rio. Well, my parents were here, but they had plans. And I didn't want to like stop them. So they went out with my like musty and stuff. And I was just here like alone on New Year's Eve. I was really upset. And obviously he didn't even, you know, he was just doing what he wanted to do. Then he came, I think the day after, to back up the rest of his stuff. And I thought, you know what? I know something's not right in my gut feeling. I needed that closure of what was going on. Now, I'm not really going to say what I found out because I just don't feel right talking about it online. But I feel like it was really, really bad. And all I had to do was tap his phone and I saw a message. And then I saved that number to my phone. And then I went on WhatsApp and then I went on the picture to that number.
Yeah.
And then it came out from there, what happened and what I found out. And he did kind of come clean with it there and then. Because he did try to gaslight me actually first. He said, what you want about what number? And then luckily I took a picture on my phone. Even my friends are like, you're so smart for doing that. And at the time I didn't think, let me take it for like proof. Yeah. I thought, let me take it so I can save the number and WhatsApp it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see the picture. But it was amazing that I took that picture because that was my proof.
Yeah.
And it came out from there, what he'd been doing. And obviously, like I've said before, I did ask for more proof of how long it'd been going on and stuff and how long he'd been doing this, but he wouldn't give it to me. That was proof enough. But recently, like I said in another episode, someone did reach out to me saying he did stuff like this before in the past to some of his exes. Again.
So he was cheating?
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows he cheated.
Yeah.
I guess people just don't know exactly how. I have spoken about what specifically he did do before.
Yeah.
But I guess he did manipulate me into taking it down, trying to say, I guess, I don't know if it's true or not. I guess he was trying to say how it could come back and hurt a Rio. And when I hear that, whether it's true or not, I'm going to protect my son. So I just, in that moment, I thought, let me take it down. But then I did speak to a lot of people and they're like, no, you talking about your story has nothing to do with how would it? They were like, I think even you said as well.
It sounds like he gaslit you into taking it down.
He did.
It's your story. It's something that was true to you. And he basically talked you into taking it down.
Yeah. And he's free to go speak about his side of the story. Everyone has freedom of speech. Every single person. He's free to go speak about his story. But as in, I don't think he will because he knows what he's done. Like I've said, I've literally got proof of him admitting of him doing that, but also him saying, I've neglected you in a Rio, that. So when that all came out, he was really nice for a day because he just thought, let me get in her good books and stuff. And then after that, he went even more and more evil when the divorce process started, which I'll talk about in a minute. But just going back to why I took that video down, it's because, he gaslighted me into it, saying he tried to he knows how much I'd do anything for a Rio. He's he knows. So he thought, let me try, and he did try threaten me numerous ways, but those threats weren't getting to me. So I just let it roll, let him carry on threatening me. And then it did get to the point where he knew that weren't working, and then he tried to obviously use that. And I think even you said, how is that going to come back to a Rio? If anything, it was his action. He never thought about his action. But you're not the only one. So many people said, you speaking about it is not going to come back to bite a Rio. He did that. He wasn't thinking about a Rio. He wasn't thinking about how it would come back to bite him then.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking about his son when he did those things, right?
Yeah, or he wasn't thinking about his reputation when he made these decisions.
Yeah.
And anyways, I probably did get gaslit, and I still think I might still get gaslit, but that's why I don't want to say that specific thing.
Yeah.
Because that specific thing I think doesn't need to be on the internet. But loads of people saw it. Loads of people know what happened.
Yeah.
And it was cheating, but in a very kind of desperate way of cheating. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair
And
to say.
it was very, very shocking to me because I wasn't expecting that. I had a gut feeling he was cheating. I kind of knew it. But I just didn't know it was in that way. But when one of his friends came forward, ex-friends came forward this weekend and told me what he used to do. Again, it might not be true, but his ex-friend told me he used to do this.
Okay.
I wasn't even that shocked because I'm like, I knew it didn't just start with me. It'd been going on long before me. He was really, really nice that day. He was begging me not to tell anyone. And now he won't show face to anyone because he knows, obviously my family know what he's done.
Yeah, for sure.
He won't show face ever. And that's why he don't want me to see his family because he don't want them to know.
He's worried about what
he's
you might
really,
say.
Yeah, he's really, really worried.
What, is he going to worry for the rest of his life then? What about when a Rio has
a
significant birthdays or
And this is when we first separated, I said, okay, but I guess we're going to have a family thing when it's his first birthday. This was back in Jan when I thought there'd still be, part of his life a bit more, I'm talking about his parents and stuff. And he said no. So he basically backed out of coming from his party from then.
Okay, lovely. Well, lovely man.
Obviously, I wouldn't have invited him now anyways. I wouldn't have invited them now. But back in January, I did. I said, I'm going to throw him a party. Are you not? And he said no. He goes, I don't want no family interaction.
So going back to that story of when your ex's family member was having a verbal disagreement with you or coming at you, let's say, did that person ever apologise afterwards? Because obviously you were quite vulnerable. You were trying to put your son to sleep and it was a very toxic environment. So did you ever get, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that?
She did apologise, but only once. I caught my ex-partner, what I caught on the phone, the cheating thing.
Oh, so she was only sorry then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's only because he told her to apologise.
Oh, because he was protecting his reputation.
I don't think she knows what he did, but he only got her to apologise then. He never, before that, even the day after, he never said, go apologise. Because he egged her on though, so why would he? But again, knowing as a mum, this person is a mum, knowing I was only very freshly postpartum, how are you going to come at someone holding their newborn? Even if I was in the wrong, but like I said, I wasn't. And I even said to her, I have a feeling he's cheating on me. And that's why I have a feeling he's cheating on me. And I felt like you were, because I knew she was jealous of certain things. So I blocked her from my close story when he left at 6 weeks postpartum.
Okay.
And I think that's why she was angry at me. But because he told me so many times, don't tell her this, don't tell her this, don't tell her this. So of course you're going to get the vibe someone's jealous. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why should I have to hide my life?
That's actually so pathetic. I just, why? So you're going to be...
Yeah, so
what the fuck?
So I think she was angry because I did that. And then also... I had to explain, I think he's cheating on me, but I had no physical proof then because I only found this. So that happened. Then I found out the cheating thing 2 days after. Do you get me?
Okay, yeah.
And that's what made me really angry. So that's why I said, no, I deserve an apology because what I was saying was even more valid and right.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I don't know how he got her to because there's no way he was telling her what I just found out. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. Cheating's one thing, but what I found out
It's to another level, isn't it?
Yeah, how would you even describe that?
Desperate.
Yeah,
How
you're
you
cheating
described
in
it.
like the most kind of desperate way. Like,
That's it. I think that's good
Yeah.
enough. I think you take from that what you will.
yeah, take from that what you want. I'm not going to say what it was, but she did send me an apology. I'm not going to read that out, but I will read out my response. And then I did block her after. So when I replied, I think I replied like a month later.
Talk about slow reply. She replied a month
No,
later.
because she always had a go. This person had a go at me for not making an effort with her when I'd always message her and she'd always take ages to respond. And then she'd go, but I'm busy with my kids. I'm like, so why are you having a go at me for? So I was like, so I took a month to respond. And I goes, hey, sorry for the delay in getting back to you. I've been busy with a Rio. Thanks for the forced fake apology. What you did was unacceptable. While I was holding my son, putting him to sleep, you should feel embarrassed, especially as a mother yourself. All I want is what's best for a Rio. And my ex-partner has told me enough about you hating on your mother-in-law, trying to keep your children away from your mother-in-law. But I'm not like that. I wanted to come here. So when I went to London, I wanted to come to London so Rio could spend time with that side of the family. But you ruined that. Finally, because you come at me stating the facts, because when I was trying to say the cheating thing, she was trying to say it's facts, he's not. I go, speak to my ex-partner first and find out who he really is. You know absolutely nothing, because at that point, obviously, I had the proof. Mm-hmm. And then I just say something else as well about how this person was trying to she was trying to take things away from Rio so it benefits her family.
Okay.
So I just say a bit about that, which I don't really need to go into. I goes, if you have anything to respond, please email me, as I'll no longer be taking any abuse from you or your family. So like I said, next time you come at me stating you have something to say, speak to first about the facts.
Mic drop. Oh, don't you hate it when someone comes at you thinking they know all the facts, but they know jack shit?
But I'm not joking. Like, my friends always said, what's the matter with this person? And I've always felt like she never liked me anyways. And even that day when she came at me, she was like, it was very high school. She was like, oh, but you make an effort with this person. And it's like, my brother's wife gets on with people in my family maybe more than me. And I don't go say, what are you close with her for, not with me?
So do you think maybe she wanted a relationship with you and she felt like she wasn't getting that?
No, because I used to message her and she used to blank me. So I think she was just trying to use that as something.
As leverage.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand why she
And then
didn't
she'd
like
say,
you.
but then I'm busy with my kids. And then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I understand that. But then why are you saying that? But I think it's just the person she is. Even one of my cousins came to stay recently and she goes, can I ask, what was up with this family member? And like, literally, I hadn't even mentioned her. I goes, why did you say that? I goes, because so many of my other family members and friends have said this. And then she goes, because she never, ever even wanted to make eye contact with me. She goes, it just seemed like everything was about her.
I know. She's insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because couldn't I tell her about this?
Because she's insecure about herself.
Yeah.
So, very interesting.
Yeah.
I find
but
it
she's
sad.
probably laughing now because
Why?
she's done loads of things that, I believe she's manipulated my ex into doing loads of things that are going to benefit her family as opposed to his son.
That's weird. Why would you not want the best
for your child? That I just want to reiterate. I do think he's trying to, it might be forced, it might be fake. And I do think when I put out exactly what he did, which I got manipulated into taking down, another reason was like, okay, maybe this is a bit of a wake-up call for him because he started doing all these promises for my son, but they were all false promises. Like, he's very, very good at doing false promises. And I did say to him when I was pregnant, I was like, you cannot be doing false promises to a child because they're going to, do you know what I'm saying? I really don't understand now, but in a couple of years he will. And then he's going to be like, oh, but I thought I was going to go here. Oh, I thought this was happening. And he's done a lot of false promises to my son already. And I'm not having that.
We're not doing that.
And he's already done that. So when that video was only out, like maybe a month and a half ago, then he made a bunch of false promises.
Okay.
And all those promises have now flaked. And this is what I mean. I thought, okay, maybe this was a wake-up call for him. You know, maybe he is going to try be, you know, a better
fell for it again.
I fell for it again. You know,
it's because they make you believe it.
as in, not I fall for him. Like,
no,
never.
you fell for
I fell for him being a better, showing up
fell
more.
for him lying about showing up more.
Yeah, I will never ever fall for a guy like
No.
I think, I've never fall for a guy like that. I mean, even you know what he did, right? Would you ever go there? No.
No, but also you are being very respectful in how you're talking about this because I would have outed his age, sex, location, date of birth. I would have said everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not here to do that. And like I said, I'm here to share my story. I'm not here to, slander anyone. That's what he likes to call it, but it's not slandering. It's sharing my story that you created. Like, do you want me to come on here and lie?
No, it's more, I'd rather you just shut up. Yes, I can do whatever I want to. I can manipulate you, but you better shut up. And I don't want you to tell your story because I don't want the backlash.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir, but you should have thought about your actions
when you made those decisions. And the funny thing is, he would be telling everyone our fake stories about me when we were together, because even something happened in Stockholm and then my cousins told me after that he was saying this and this. And the thing is, that's when I started to know he was doing a lot of the lying. And then obviously that's when I started to feel like I had to prove myself, because I was like,
you don't need to prove yourself to anyone though.
It's not even that. He'd be straight up lying.
Yeah.
While he's doing that. And you're crying because maybe it might have been like, you're crying because you're getting called out on the behaviour.
No, you're crying because your mom's going to find out about your behaviour. That's all it is.
I don't, literally then, because then I didn't, then he said I think he said something in Stockholm to my cousins where I was on his case a lot, because then I was finding out lie after lie each week.
Yeah.
I'd never be on his case before. And that's why he got away with everything he got away with, because I was too lenient with him. You would not be getting away with all that shit if someone's on your case.
Yeah, but I think it's because you wanted the marriage to work. So some things you were just like, it's not worth even bringing this up. Which I understand as well. But at the same time, don't do that again, okay? Don't let yourself fall into those traps. But you've learned a lot though, right? A lot of life lessons.
Yeah, I've learned a lot of life lessons. And I did think that would be a bit of a wake-up call. And even, like I said, those false promises, he does it all the time. He does it all the time with my son, and it does create a fuel in me.
Yeah.
But maybe
just be upfront. Just like, I do not want you to make false promises, because every promise you've made, have not.
No, but I've said that to him, and it's like, it don't go through.
So you need to tell him every time.
Yeah, but
I know you've come to
visit.
It
goes back to, again, I'm not directly calling him a compulsive liar, but just in general, I believe he's one, just by things he's done by default, this, that, and I believe they genuinely can't, because being a compulsive liar does also mean false promises, yeah? I just think they can't help themselves.
So just remind him.
I did say, please go therapy for your lying, but he's too stubborn in his own ways.
Okay, right, on to, the divorce and aftermath. So obviously, we've touched on a little bit about the unkept promises, right?
Yeah, so I guess you did say we're amicable.
Definitely.
I mean, I got, what am I meant to do saying, no, you can't come see your son? I don't want to be that mum. I'll always give him visitation rights. He is his father. And I don't want Rio to ever turn around to me and say, well, you stopped me having a relationship. I'd rather Rio just see everything for himself. If he does come see him, obviously it's supervised. Yeah. There's so much, obviously, one, he's never looked after Rio by himself.
Fair.
Two, there's been some threats in the past, which I would not allow my child, around. But also you wouldn't allow your child in front of a stranger anyways. And like I said, Rio, he's a stranger to him.
This story keeps getting worse and worse. I'm like,
The threats that were made, and they were only made a year ago. It's not like we're talking 10 years ago. These threats were really, really serious. And I was on the verge of reporting it to the police at one point, but I didn't. And I have got proof of that as well. He does a bit more because I have had to spell it out for him to do more, when I had to send that email numerous times. So I'll say that. His parents do nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay. But they're losing out at the end of the day. Rio has the best bond with my parents. You've seen it. And he loves them so much. And obviously they don't have no bond with him. But I don't even think his mum really cares so much. I think maybe the dad did, but I think he gets manipulated a bit. I don't know. I just feel like that. I've been around these people and I felt like
You pick up on stuff, don't you, when you're living with people?
But then at the end of the day,
you pick up
a lot of people do say, come on, he's a grown-ass man. There's nothing that will stop someone from seeing their grandchild. Yeah. You can hate me all you want. I even did used to say to him, though, why do you hate me so much? Why? Because because I found out who you really are. Because I know why I hate you so much.
You've asked him?
Yeah, because the divorce was messy. Even to this day, we have arguments.
But
because we have to still communicate because we have a child together.
So that's what I mean. I think there's some circumstances where there's zero communication, but it's good that you're still letting him have, if you want to call it a relationship, with his son.
Yeah.
Because it shows you're not a bitter person.
Yeah.
Whether he chooses to take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
Seeing your son once every 2, 3, 4 weeks and making false promises isn't being a dad, though,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. It was a lot worse than that. And I feel like now it's more because of me kind of saying that. And if I'm busy, say if I'm busy on a certain Sunday,
Yeah.
then you can say, well, I'll come on this day, I'll come on this day. But I don't see that effort there.
Okay.
And
It's one-sided effort, yeah.
yeah, and it's not I'm not going to now beg you to come see, because I did that back when we first separated and you used to say no. You used to say no, I'm not coming. I really need to monitor the false promises.
So you're navigating co-parenting while still protecting your child. So you're finding that balance.
Yeah.
But still protecting your child.
It's very, very tricky, isn't it? Because I'm still protecting my child. And like I said, it does feel like solo parenting. Until very recently, when he's made a bit more of an effort, which was only, like I said, that video only went out like a few thingy.
Yeah.
Until very recently, it genuinely felt like solo parenting. Now it still does, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's a bit more effort from him. But I don't know if it's forced or fake. It probably is. But, you know.
That's fine. You're keeping things civil. He can see his child when he chooses to see his child, providing you're free.
Yeah.
And you're keeping things amicable for your son. So I think actually you're doing a really good thing and quite a difficult thing where you haven't come out really bitter at the end where you're like, no, you're not seeing your child. Your family aren't seeing your child. If they're choosing not to come and see him, that's on them.
That's on them,
It's not a reflection of your son.
Yeah, because even his parents, I was like, are your parents not going to come see him for his birthday?
That's really sad. I find that so sad that they didn't.
Absolutely did nothing for him. Like, it's embarrassing.
That's disgusting. It's embarrassing. I mean...
It is.
As grandparents, you should be embarrassed.
And the thing is, it's not like they literally come near where my house was.
To visit other people.
That family member that lives there. They're literally there loads. It's not like they live on the other side of the world. And even then, the normal grandparent would be like... Because even when he comes, he never gets on FaceTime to them or anything.
That's so strange.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was away in Manchester, I think I FaceTimed so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He never FaceTimes me. But say if his parents don't want to speak to me, why are they not FaceTiming him when he's here to see?
I don't know, and I think they need to answer to that as well. I don't understand that, because your grandson's going to grow up not knowing who you are, but also he's going to have an opinion on you based on how much you've shown up in his life, which isn't a
and
fat
that's
lot.
why I because these people are so manipulative. I don't know what they're going to say in the future, so I've had to keep proof of everything. Even when I used to beg, even to this day, I'm still proofing stuff. I think when you're a mum, you have to, or if it's the other way around, a dad. I feel like I feel like because these people are so manipulative, I have to prove everything, and I literally the proof I have to like send it to other people because I'm like. You know,
is this me going crazy or is this legit?
No, not even that. It's like I get scared that the proof is going to go off my phone.
Oh my gosh. You know, you can export a WhatsApp chat as well. You know that?
Yeah,
girl. I already know that. You can export it and save it onto a hard drive.
Yeah, as a little file, like a text file thing, innit? I know all this. Yeah, I just don't, I think my main worry is I just don't want my son being manipulated in the future or false promises and...
Okay, so in terms of co-parenting, it sounds like you're doing the most.
Yeah.
And he's coming to visit every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so you're basically doing 99% of the things and he's putting in that 1% effort.
I'd say
okay,
that, yeah.
fair. So that's the level of co-parenting.
And I just feel like it's just show face because it's just like a tick off the box thing. So he can just, I feel like that. It might not be. I feel like just because when he goes, it's like he don't ask anything. It's like his son don't exist. If he's come and I've told him something specifically.
Yeah.
He's not followed up on it after. Like if you genuinely cared, you'd follow up. And these are,
oh yeah. Does your ex and his family do they buy a Rio presents and?
His parents have barely gave him anything. Even when he was born, I told you they turned up with nothing.
Okay.
He's given a couple things.
Lovely.
Yeah, he has. He's given a car for his birthday. He got him a little toy car thing before. I wouldn't say a lot. I know we get him toys all the time, so maybe it don't feel like a lot. Yeah. And they've gone on holidays and stuff, and they've not even thought of him there. I'm not even joking. Even my brother and his wife go on holiday, and they'll think of a Rio and bring him something back.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they go on holidays. They've been India as well. India's like a place to get presents.
Yeah.
They've been twice now since Rio's been born, and they've not gotten him anywhere from there. Even he's been there with them, and he's been on holiday. He's not got him anything. So I feel like, again, for me, this is just what I feel like. I feel like it's just a tick off the box thing. He'll come show his face so he can tell people I do my duty. I see him now and then. Because obviously, what are you going to tell people? I'll never see my son. You can't say that.
I just feel like the paternal instinct isn't there, maybe.
Yeah, again, and that's what I'm saying. These are just our thoughts. You're not going to tell someone, for someone that cares, for me personally, for someone who I think cares so much about their reputation, they're not going to then not show face. Because, and it's not just me, I know loads of women that say, they literally message me and they say they'll come now and then to show face. You know, and I think that's what it is. It's more about showing face. And even some things I just feel like are showing face. And nothing I feel like is genuine.
Yeah.
Because if it was genuine, I'd see that care. Where are you checking in on your son otherwise? And I'm literally having to tell him sometimes, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. Like, especially when they're ill. I have my friends message me more when Ario's ill. He don't even message me once when Ario's ill. And I've literally told him. But he'll message me about something else. Is what I mean. It's not the fact that he don't want to message me because like I said, we've only just got divorced. So we had so much to talk about. And even recently he messaged me about trying to manipulate me, but he couldn't even add on their house a Rio.
Okay.
But even if we weren't messaging at all, even if you hated me so much you don't want to message me, there should be nothing that comes in the way. Your hate for me should be less than your love for your son.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I know there is nothing that would stop me from finding out how my son is.
Yeah.
And it just goes back to the grandparents thing. There's nothing that would stop. I was speaking to one of my aunties and she goes, there's nothing that would stop me from seeing my grandparents. I don't care what he says. She goes, nothing.
People are raised differently though, aren't they? So what's normal for us? It sounds like we've been raised quite similarly. It might not be the same for other people. Okay, so what advice would you give to other mums going through a divorce when they've got children?
It is very, very messy. But try and just stay strong. Try and keep your focus on your kids. Like, my focus was always a Rio, you know. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you. The day the divorce came through, it was like, woo, heaven. I actually celebrated it with my friends this weekend gone because I think they were so happy for me as well. It felt like freedom.
I think you sent me a voice note saying, I'm divorced. I was like, yay,
oh my God, yeah, because it was the day after we recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're going through it, just make sure you're trying to surround yourself with people that will uplift you and not talk down on divorces, because you don't want to be hearing that. You know, divorce isn't a bad thing if you're in the wrong situation. You know, it's the worst thing you can do is stay. And I've said this before, staying for the kids does more harm than good. You don't want them to grow up thinking it's normal for you to accept this behaviour, because then they might go accept it in the future, or they might go do it to someone else.
And do you think marriage is a scam? I know this rattled a few people's cages, so do you think...
I'm not saying anything about this. I got so much hate. Oh, forget it. My opinion don't matter. Who am I?
No, but it's this is the thing, guys. When you're going out on the internet, you know, we know that there's going to be backlash, but also we're entitled to our own damn opinions.
I know.
And actually, marriage
but
for you was a little bit of a scam.
But the facts is as well, and I'm not lying when I say this, is facts. Go Google it. The divorce rates are on the rise.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do about that? That's what I was trying to say. I was like, I'm not just talking about my situation. Obviously, my experience plays a role.
Yeah.
But just in general, from what I see as well, from other people's stories, from what I see, from what I hear, and it's not even, sometimes I'm seeing certain stories where people are saying that so-and-so is in such an unhappy marriage. And it's like, so if they're not getting divorced, they're unhappy. And I'll also say everyone is. Of course, there's, you know, yours a perfect case of where it's not, it's a happy marriage, etc. But what I'm trying to say is, I was just trying to say my point of view, especially with the divorce rates on the rise.
Yeah.
And that's not a lie.
No.
That's facts. Obviously, me saying it's a scam is an opinion.
And it
has a meaning.
It's quicker to get married than it is to get
divorced. Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, the divorce process is very, very long. That might go in, like... There's just certain things that just really, really long it out. And even then, like, manipulation and abuse continues until very end. And even now, like I said, I'm still getting manipulated to this day. And I just want it to end. I just want the manipulation to end. So someone did say, actually, stop talking about negative things. Move on, find a new partner, move on and be happy. One, I don't define finding a partner by happiness. I'm happiest now and I'm single.
Yeah.
I'm not going to... See, this is the thing. People make their lifelong goal finding a new partner. And that's why I think some people get pressured and forced into settling down, because they think, let me just find someone, I'll be happy. Let me just get married to them. Do you understand? So for someone to say that, secondly, I'm not in the position to find a new partner right now. I'm focusing on my son, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for a man right now. My time goes to my son.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see how we're glued to each other. You just saw it downstairs.
Yeah, no,
He's glued to
definitely.
me, guys. He's like, he's my mini me, and he's my priority. And if it happens, it happens, but I'm not out there forcing it. That's not my life. I'm not going to be like, right, I need to find happiness. My happiness is my son. Do you know what I'm saying? It's focusing on me and my son. So for her to say that is just really, really weird. Go find a new partner to be happy. No, okay. But two, don't just tell me to move on and be happy, because no one is happy every day. I'm really raw and real on my Instagram, and people love that. They're like, I love how real you are. So why am I going to wake up pretending I'm positive every day? Because if anything, that's going to make you feel shitter, because you're going to think, oh, I'm having a bad day, but this person never has a bad day.
Yeah, but
That's
I think it's important to share like when you're happy as well, which I think you do. You shared your birthday.
I share all my happy moments.
And I think people need to remember as well, life isn't just shits and giggles. Like we're going to have really, really good days and we're going to want to share them.
But the thing is, I actually
media,
think I share more of my happiness, because people message me like, I love your page because you give me hope. Look at how you are. I always share more of my happiness. Yeah,
but most people on social media just share the happy times. And I think this is where we go wrong as well, because you look at people and think, oh my God, she's got a perfect life. Yeah.
Perfect life. And a lot of these people behind the cameras are the most unhappiest people.
All their marriages are breaking down, or they're posting pictures of their partner all the time. And actually, I think I was discussing this with my husband, and we were just sort of saying, sometimes the people that post the most happy marriage pictures are the ones that don't. And
the ones that are actually living like a madness, like two separate lives and stuff.
It's like a show. It's a
show. It's like a show.
In my opinion, before I get hate for saying that.
In our opinion. Everything we say is in our opinion. Obviously, the things I've gone through, and we're reflecting on that.
Yeah.
And it's our opinion on reflecting on that. Yeah, I want to make that clear. See, I've been manipulated.
You shouldn't have to justify yourself, but in this day and age, people manipulate so much. So
well, everything I've gone through, it's happened to me, I've got proof, I've backed it up, and also then us talking about how we feel from that is how we feel from it. And I am entitled to share my story, you know, just as anyone else is.
Definitely.
You know, just as you are, my ex-partner is, freaking the person up the road is. They are entitled to share their story. And it might help someone in some ways. And I think, but for someone to tell me to move on and be happy, and I think that's right, I do share way more happiness than sad. But if you share one bad thing, to be fair, it was just one person, but it just shows that some people sometimes, I don't know, they just can't take a bit of showing a bit of.
Yeah, I think they said spread positivity, didn't they? And we're like,
I've got a top that I was going to wear for one of the podcast episodes saying "Stay positive." Because I am a very positive person, but I'm not going to sit here and lie of what I think.
No, you're allowed to. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to.
Even
be
the
sad.
most positive person will have opinions of things.
Yeah, we don't mind people having opinions on anything we're talking about.
Saying, okay, I get why some people would say marriage is a scam is a negative thing to say, but I never said that people ain't going to find happiness. I said they might live together, have kids together, and they might be happier that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, without the marriage. Potentially, yeah.
It's just my opinion. Don't take it to heart. And I'm allowed to have an opinion, even as a positive person. And I think that's something really to touch on. Like the amount of messages I get, like, thank you for sharing your stuff online, because you made me feel there is hope and happiness, which just proves that it is.
Reaching the right people, yeah?
It does reach the right people, but you're always going to get a bit of hate. And I think a lot of men don't like me talking about this because it's calling out some behaviours that women are meant to hush and just move on with. And then, I don't know, that person couldn't have been a mum though, because you can't just move on from it.
I mean, anyone can have an opinion on it, but you're living it.
Yeah, and you can't, that's what I'm trying to say. You can't just move on from it when you're still getting manipulated this day.
Yeah.
I still have to communicate with this person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And I think leaving isn't failure. You chose peace. Happiness. And you chose happiness.
And I chose putting me and my son first. I chose my self-worth. I think the main thing, like I said, was as well, when I found out some of the stuff, I just kept getting more and more of the ick. I did.
Yeah.
The final thing was like I said, I needed that.
Yeah.
Because it made everything easier. Because I was like, whoa, you're doing that while I'm at home looking after our son. How are you going doing that? Even if we didn't have a child, yeah, best believe, I think it'd give a lot of women, like, there's no going back from what I found out.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, this has got nothing to do with having a child or not. If I found out some of the stuff I found out, if I was not a mum, whatever, I would have there's no going back from that.
And I think leaving doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a failure.
No.
It's the start of a new chapter.
It's the start of a new chapter.
And you're just walking into this
when
new
I had my
lease of
little
life.
divorce party, I put a beginning of a new chapter.
Amazing. I like that. It's the end of an era, but the beginning of a new one. And I love thinking of it like that.
And I'm so excited for the new one because it's like, I've got my boy. There's so much to come.
And he's growing and he's walking.
Growing, he's walking everywhere and he's like interacting more. And I'm just so excited for it. And
wait,
I don't want
until
no
he tells
pressure.
you he
I
loves
don't want
you.
no pressure on like, oh, I can't wait. I think I'll cry. Let's not start that again. I've just cried all weekend with my friends. So for anyone who is in that space, confused, heartbroken, whatever it might be, I want you to know, just hang in there. Do what's right for you. If it's just you, for yourself. If you've got children, do what's right for you and your children. And just know that peace does come. And healing does take time. Like I said, I do feel like I've healed a lot. There might still be a little journey ahead, but I just want you to know you will wake up one day and feel like, you know, the life you're building or have built is yours.
Thank you for listening to Her Untold. This hasn't been an easy story to share for Saria, but we felt like it was a really important one to delve into. And, you know, these topics are really difficult. It is emotionally draining, especially going back through old conversations and just reliving that experience. So I did actually see you tearing up a little bit there as well. So it just goes to show how emotionally draining and attached you are to some of this as well. Somewhere out there, there's going to be another woman going through something similar, and they just need to hear their big sis talking about it too. So I really appreciate you sharing your story and going into as much detail as you did. And I'm pretty sure the listeners really appreciate it as well. So thank you for being so open and honest.
If you did like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment. And of course, if you're going through anything similar or just need someone to talk to, our DMs are always open. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.